but we're just going to try again to talk to Chriselda. Let's listen in.
To court today to establish the reasons why the matter was postponed for the clients to get another attorney, whereas we are still on record. And with regard to Advocate Teffo, I won't say much. I still have to consult with the clients to give us direction. Even if myself, I depend on the clients. If the clients say I stop here, I'll stop. So the instructions are from the clients, not from me per se.
So on what basis then was he saying he's back on the matter? Because then I suppose he would have had to get instructions from you and the clients.
Thank you. That's why I want to clarify that with the clients. Hence, I wanted to put it to the public to teach them how the process works. You need to get instructions from the client as an attorney. Then attorney gives the instructions to the advocate on the instructions of the clients to brief an advocate. So this process is back to square one. We need to get instructions which are very clear from the clients, not from the court or not anyone else, but the clients.
Mr. Teffo, are you saying that the letter that Advocate Teffo recently wrote, where he made startling claims, where he said he is now back as defense counsel, are you saying that was done without consulting yourself and the clients?
Unfortunately, I won't comment much on that letter. I'm not the writer thereof. The right person is Advocate Teffo to comment on that letter, but I still insist that instructions, they originate from the clients. That's what I wanted to clarify, and the public must learn how the process works.
But were the instructions to bring Advocate Teffo back onto record? Because that is what he said in the letter. You don't need to comment on the letter. You can maybe just tell us whether you had consulted with your clients and then consulted with Advocate Teffo to come back on record. Has that been done? I
think I'll repeat myself. I won't comment on that letter. I'll have to take instructions from the clients. Even myself today, if the client says, Mr. Thabane, you stop here, I'll stop.
But are you not concerned, Mr. Thabane, though, about the to and from that seems to be taking place in this matter? There's been concern that this matter has dragged on for so long. There was the dramatic withdrawal of Advocate Malesela Teffo in the last appearance, and this court had been postponed precisely to allow for accused 1 to 4 to get legal representation. Now Advocate Malesela Teffo says he's back on the matter again. And on the issue of decorum, do you agree? You are the instructing attorney, but do you agree with the contents of the letter that Advocate Malesela Teffo had written, where there are issues relating to witchcraft that have been taken there, a judge's matter, and a number of other bodies within your fraternity have condemned the language used there?
Thank you. I won't comment much on the letter. I'll address the court on the issues raised in this matter. I'm very concerned with the delay of the matter. Like any other matter which can be delayed, I'm concerned. The clients deserve a speedy trial, and families deserve to get the truth of what happened with their loved ones.
So you're distancing yourself from the letter then?
My pleasure.
Are you distancing yourself from the letter?
Because I cannot comment on something which I didn't write.
But as someone within the legal practice, the contents of that letter, allegations of witchcraft, allegations that there are concoctions that have been there under the guise to let Advocate Malesela Teffo collapse inside court. I mean, as someone in the legal fraternity, surely you should have something to say about that. Not on the contents of the letter, but what has been widely criticized by your colleagues within the fraternity. As someone in the legal fraternity, Mr. Thabane.
With due respect, I think before I make any comment with regard to the letter or whatever Advocate Teffo said, I must address the court first. There is a protocol which we must follow, and we must stick to it as legal practitioners.
Mr. Thabane, then it makes us wonder who's in charge here, because if Advocate Malesela Teffo is instructed by you, how then does he write letters that you now come and say you distance yourself from them? Who's in charge? Are you not in charge? Are you saying that he does things without taking any instructions from you and the clients?
What I can say is, as it stands now, Advocate Teffo had withdrawn from the matter. You don't need a rocket scientist that he's writing those letters on his own, because he withdrew from this matter officially in court. So it's not part of this matter as it stands now. Even myself, if I go inside the court now, I consult with clients. They tell me, Mr. Tawani, I think you must stop from here, up to here today. No more continue with the matter. I will stop. I will abide by the instructions. Not Advocate Teffo will tell me I must stop. Not the presiding officer or any officer will tell me to stop. Only the clients. The instructions that originate from the clients. As the court put it very clear, I have to say this because it's on record already, it's a public matter. The court says the matter doesn't belong to the officers. It belongs to the clients.
Mr. Tawani, when last did you speak to Advocate Teffo?
I spoke to him yesterday.
Yesterday. Are
Yes.
you aware that he has laid complaints against Chauke, Baloyi and Msololo and says that he has consulted you on those complaints to the LPC?
He informed me that he wants to lay complaints, but I cannot comment on those complaints because I'm not the one who laid them.
Sorry, Mr. Tawani. After we need to get this straight though, because there's a lot of to and fro, as my colleague said. After Mr. Advocate Teffo withdrew, did your clients give a mandate for him to come back on record? I don't need you to answer on the letter, but clearly you are the instructing attorney. You can tell us whether your clients gave a mandate for Advocate Teffo to come back on record. It's a simple yes or no.
The only thing I can say is that I'm standing here in behalf of myself as a TT Toban Attorney's Director. The clients told me to come to the court and proceed with the matter today. As for another officer, I cannot comment until I get clarity from the clients today.
So you're just as shocked?
With regard to any advocate.
So you're just as shocked about what happened in this matter? You're shocked that Advocate Malesela Teffo withdrew. You are shocked that there are a number of complaints that have been... You're just shocked?
I'm not shocked. I mean, I'm not shocked. It's what they decide to do. It's what they decide to do. I cannot...
But it came as a surprise to you?
Not. I can't say it's a surprise. I mean, each and every person has the right to exercise their own decisions. Hence, I'm saying now.
It's clear that from what you're saying, that based on that letter, his wishes are that he wants to come back. Are you going to take him back now that he's indicated that he's coming back? And if the clients instruct you, to continue
now you're learning. I'm not gonna command. I'm gonna take instructions from the clients to tell me if they want him back, they want him back. If they don't want him back, they don't want him back. If they don't want me back, they don't want me back. And if they say they want him back, then he still have to address the court the reasons why he must be back. He needs to make a proper submission to the court and elaborate why he wants to come back.
Would you say your relationship with him is fine, especially after that letter that you're now distancing yourself from?
My relationship with everyone is fine. It's also fine with you.
With Teffo in particular?
It's okay.
Do you still have faith in Advocate Teffo?
I don't have a grudge to any person.
Do you still have faith in Advocate Teffo, given the months of theatrics that have unfolded in court now?
I don't think I must have faith to a human being. I have faith in God, and I will end it up here. Thank you very much.
Just lastly, will you remain as the instructing attorney if the court accepts that Teffo is back and that your clients want him back?
No. It doesn't work like that. The clients, they must tell me what to do. If they say, Mr. Tawani, remain. Mr. Tawani, we want Advocate X. We want Advocate B. And Mr. Tawani, if we bring the same Advocate B, you must remain. Then I'll remain. It will be instructions. Remember, it's not our matter. It's the client's matter.
The actual resumption of the trial is the date that had been set was for September. Do you have faith with all these delays now that this particular matter will sit in September? Do you have any faith?
I do have faith that the matter will proceed in September. Actually, I even thought today we might proceed, but I made suggestions, but no one came back to me. They said we stick to the September date. Hence today, I will address the court on these issues of, in fact, why can't we proceed even before September?
Any talk of a postponement?
Today we will postpone, but what I'm saying is I will try to convince the court and other officers why can't we proceed before September? Because justice delayed is justice denied.
But Mr. Titi, is that not a bit disingenuous? Because there were talks about blocking an entire end date, and then you and your advocate did not pitch up to that meeting. So now you guys keep calling, but you keep accusing the state and the court and Umshololo of delaying the matter. But when there was an opportunity to block a full end date, Advocate Teffo was nowhere in sight.
I think that's not a fair statement or question. No one blocks anyone, and no one accuses anyone, whether there is a delay or what. With due respect, can I move in to consult the clients? Thank you. Thank you.
Your consulting advocate has flatly accused
that the instructing attorney in this particular matter, Timothy Chobane, who basically says they're hoping that this particular matter will get underway today, but I kind of think that there might be a postponement in this particular matter, Desiree, precisely because what he now says is that he will take instructions from accused 1 to 4 this morning on whether they want him as the instructing attorney to proceed with this matter, and he'll also take instruction from them on whether they want Advocate Malesela Teffo back on this matter. Remember, after that with a dramatic withdrawal, Advocate Malesela Teffo indicating that he's back on this matter. We'll certainly want to hear from the court this morning on what the court has to say on this particular matter. What the judge will also have to say about the contents of this letter that has been widely circulated, in which there are allegations of witchcraft and allegations of drinking of concoctions with the intent for Advocate Malesela Teffo to collapse at this court. He basically says that he didn't, from what we see, not surprised, but seems to have been quite perturbed by the fact that there had been this letter. He does not want to comment on the contents of this letter itself, but basically says that he's going to take his instructions from inside. He will also address the court, and it's unlikely, I think, that this matter will proceed here this morning. There is likely to be a postponement. Remember, the matter itself had been set for September, and that is when the counsel in this matter had been preparing for this. There'd been much criticism also pertaining to the kinds of delays that have gone with this, because this matter had been postponed initially for today to allow for that legal representation to be made available for accused 1 to 4. And what we now know is that Advocate Malesela Teffo has also laid complaints with the Legal Practice Council against Advocate Zandile Mshololo, as well as Advocate George Baloyi, who is the state prosecutor in this particular matter. He is also in court again on the 4th of August, which is together with the Legal Practice Council, whom they also have told SABC News there are quite a number of complaints that have been laid against him for his conduct inside this court. I'd be very surprised if the presiding judge advocate or the presiding judge Chifuwa Maumela does not have anything to say about that particular letter and how the instructing attorney in this matter will respond, given that Advocate Malesela Teffo is not inside court this morning. We're not expecting him to be. He's, of course, attending to that other matter in Johannesburg.
Chriselda Lewis, quite disturbing that the Senzo Meyiwa trial is now becoming about legal practitioners as opposed to the Meyiwa family getting justice. Those accused, Mziga Kulelwa Sbia, Bongani Ntanzi, Mtobisi Ncube, and Mtoli Sizeni Mapisa, accused 1 to 4, whose legal representation is in question today.